Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. The topic of this 10-minute moan is looking at two very similar cases, very public cases in the United Kingdom, with seem to be getting dealt with in two totally separate ways. So what I want to talk about are the two cases. The one, the Tory councillor's wife, who was arrested, pled guilty, and has been sentenced to 31 months for tweets, which is suggested led to, or could have led to, riots and violence, and comparing that to the case of Labour councillor Ricky Jones, who has been arrested for allegedly making gestures and suggesting that certain people in society should have their throats cut. He went to court and pled not guilty, basically saying he didn't do it, despite the mountains of evidence on social media and for live footage suggesting he might have. So just going to have a look at both those and try and figure out what's going on, because there seems to be a bit of disparity in how media, etc., and the judiciary are dealing with them. We see quite a lot of cases these days sped through the court system, for example, expedited very, very quickly, and some you're not getting here till January, which seem to be quite clear-cut cases. So I want to look at that. So anyway, I've wrote some notes and I'll just talk you through them. So the recent sentencing of Tory councillor's wife to 31 months in prison for her role in allegedly inciting the Southport riots through a tweet has ignited a fervent debate regarding the fairness and consistency of the judicial decisions in the United Kingdom. This case, juxtaposed with the ongoing legal proceedings against Ricky Jones, a former Labour councillor accused of encouraging violent disorder, exemplifies what many perceive as a two-tier judiciary system. Herein, I'll delve into these cases, exploring the public sentiment, legal implications, and the broader discourse on the judicial equity. The first thing I'll look at is the case of the Tory councillor's wife. The councillor's wife was convicted for a tweet deemed to incite violence during the Southport riots, which were initially sparked by misinformation regarding the religious and immigration status of a mass stabbing suspect. Her sentencing to 31 months reflects a stringent application of laws concerning hate speech and incitement, particularly in an age where online statements can rapidly escalate real-world tensions. Critics argue that while justice was served for the incitement, the severity of the sentence compared to others, sometimes more violent crimes, raises questions about proportionality and motive. Kind of agree with that. Ricky Jones and the allegations of encouraging violence. Ricky Jones stands accused of making statements at an anti-fascist protest that encouraged violence against far-right protesters. Unlike the councillor's wife, Jones' case has not yet reached a verdict, partly due to the complexities involved in proving intent and direct incitement of violence from political speech. The delay in his trial, coupled with the nature of his comments, has led to the public outcry, questioning why there appears to be differences in legal handling or perceived leniency when compared to other cases. Ricky Jones and the allegations of encouraging violence. Next, public sentiment and the two-tier judiciary claim. The public discourse, especially visible on platforms like X, reveals a significant portion of society believes in the existence of a two-tier judiciary. This belief stems from numerous perceived inconsistencies: political affiliation and sentencing. There's an underlying suspicion that political affiliation of the accused or the nature of the crime, whether it aligns with certain political narratives, might influence judicial outcome. The councillor's wife linked to the Conservative figure receiving what some deem an excessive sentence for a tweet, while violent crimes received lesser or delayed attention, fuels this narrative. Media and public pressure. The role of media coverage and public sentiment in swaying judicial decisions or prosecutorial zeal is often highlighted. High-profile cases like these attract significant media attention, potentially influencing legal procedures or outcomes. Legal technicalities and delays. The difference in legal proceedings, where some cases are expedited while others languish, adds to the disparity perception. Ricky Jones' case, which, with its trial date set for January, exemplifies this delay, which might be seen as leniency or neglect, and also the nature of crime versus punishment. The comparison of sentencing for crimes that result in physical harm versus those inciting through speech raises discussion on the valuation of different types of harm. Here, the debate often circles back to freedom of speech versus public safety. I think what's happening here is we see, the one that really gets me in particular is people who have been found guilty or pleaded guilty to sexual crimes against children. And they get deferred sentences. They don't get custodial sentences. Some of them recently have been given payback orders, community service. Well, someone that does a tweet gets 31 months in jail. So legal and perspectives and judicial consistency. From a legal standpoint, several factors could explain perceived disparities. The case specificity. Each case has unique elements like evidence strength, the defendant's history, or the context of the crime, which might not be comparable at face value. Judicial discretion. Judges have leeway in sentencing, considering rehabilitation, deterrence, and public safety. What might seem as inconsistency could be nuanced application of the law based on individual circumstances, or not, because I'm quite sure the councillor's wife has quite a good record up until her tweet. Legislative framework. Different laws govern speech, violence and public disorder, and amendments of differing interpretations can lead to varied judicial responses. Well, if that is the case, we need to review these. Procedural rights. The right to a fair trial, including time to prepare defence, might explain delays like in Jones' case, not necessarily indicating favouritism. And that is true, that could be the case. But I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of how so many of these cases have been expedited through the system at pace. Yet this one isn't. It's just like months to get him to court. And he did get taken to court. He was arrested and taken to court and pled not guilty. And he's obviously been held in custody until his trial. So in conclusion, the discussion around the councillor's wife's sentencing and Ricky Jones' pending trial encapsulates broader societal and legal debate in the UK. While the two-tier judicial claim resonates with many due to viable and visible disparities in legal outcomes, a deeper analysis often reveals complex judicial considerations. However, this does not dismiss the need for transparency, consistency and public faith in the judicial process. These cases prompt a necessary dialogue on how law balances right with responsibilities, freedom with safety, and justice with public perception, urging for reforms that ensure not just the appearance, but the reality of equal justice. So basically what I'm saying is, there could be many reasons why the public feel there is a two-tier policing and two-tier judicial system. But if it is justifiable in any way, means at all, then we need to be told. Because if we're not told, we have to come to our own conclusions that there is a two-tier system. But, as we've just looked at, if, and it's a big if, anything prevents a level playing field, then we need to know. If it's because in law there are, I'm not saying loopholes, but nuances with the laws that you're using to charge somebody, then they need to be fixed. Because we need a society where we feel that, particularly sentencing, is fair. And when the people in society see, hear and read stories of people found guilty of abusing children and given no sentence, yet we hear of a woman given 31 months custodial sentence for a tweet, people are going to be shocked, surprised, and probably upset. So if there is reasons, and there's genuine reasons why there's this disparity of sentencing, then one, we need to be told, and two, we need it sorted, we need it reviewed, and we need it reformed, because the current system is causing nothing but anger on the streets of the United Kingdom. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell. If you've not, give me your comments below, I always like them. But most importantly of all, unless you are helping give even the impression of a two-tier policing and judicial system in the United Kingdom, not you, but everyone else.
Everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.